Hey everyone, it's Mike from GetFitOver40.com. Today we're going to talk about body fat and how that gets distributed on the body as we get older. And it's just a reality. As we get older, not only do we have more trouble losing the fat, we seem to be gaining more weight, getting more body fat, but that fat tends to go to all the wrong places, right? Especially women, when you were younger, it went to the hips, the butt, the boobs, right? And now it seems to be going maybe a little to the midsection, the love handles, and everything else isn't looking quite as good as it used to. It's just the reality. It's as we get older, I would say the body fat, is more proportionately distributed, especially in men. This is not a one size fits all type scenario. Of course, so some people, even when they're younger, will put a lot of weight in their midsections. Some will put a lot of weight in their faces. Like sometimes you'll see somebody and you see a picture of their face and they look really lean, and then you see a picture of their body and they're holding a lot of weight in their bottom half or whatever, right? It's like they don't put any weight on their face. Well, the same is true, for people. But generally speaking, you're gonna find that the weight is more evenly distributed throughout the body when you're younger, right? So for men, it's going to be kind of like, and I was this way too. You won't find excess fat anywhere. It just kind of gets spread out. It's going to be evenly through your arms, legs, your butt, your hips, your face. So when you gain a little bit of weight, it's not as noticeable because you're generally just getting bigger everywhere. You won't put a whole bunch of weight in your face or in your stomach. And so it kind of creeps up on you maybe a little easier than when you're older and you see it going into that one spot, and because it's like a spot area. So if you put 5 pounds all over your body, you don't really see it so much. But if you put 5 pounds right in your stomach or on your face, some people put it on their face, then you'll see it right away. So when I was younger, I generally was fairly lean. I was never a heavy person. I was very athletic, into sports, did a lot of stuff. So I never really got overweight at all when I was younger. So I always had, I could always kind of see my veins and stuff, and even abs when I was younger. There was a few times in my life, like when I had kids and I wasn't training as much, where I started to put more weight on. And even then, in my mid 30s or whatever, I'd put it on pretty evenly, a little bit more in my butt and legs, a little more obviously in my stomach, but I didn't put like a ton of weight on my face or anywhere else. I would get more weight in my arms than I do now. But now in my, I'd have to say my late 40s and early 50s, it's shifting, right? So I put very little weight on my arms and my legs. So I can literally be 12 to 15% body fat all year round and still have like striations in my triceps and have veins in my arms, and my legs look the same. There's paper thin, like I really don't put any fat in the skin on my arms and legs. It tends to now go more, obviously the lower torso, but even the upper torso. So all the weight seems to be going there now as I get old. And this only really happened in the last 5 years. So I'm noticing, when I get up to a weight where normally I'd be able to see my abs better, now I don't see my abs as well at that same body weight, even though I have the same amount of muscle. But I notice that my arms are leaner and my legs are lean, like literally all year round. So the weight's just going more, it's more spot specific. So the bonus to that is, when I lose weight, I'm going to lose it really quickly. All of it will go from the one area that I'm not seeing the results, right? Or I'm not seeing the leanness, because it's not all over the place. Let's say I had 20 pounds of weight, but distributed all over the place. So 10 pounds in my torso and 10 pounds in my arms and legs. If I lost 10 pounds, I'd lose 5 pounds in my arms and legs and 5 pounds in my torso, right? So I would lose 5 pounds here. Now let's say I'm 10 pounds overweight and it's literally all in my torso area. If I lose 10 pounds, it's literally all going to go from my torso. I'll lose 10 pounds from my midsection and it'll look fantastic. So for a show, that would be great. But, any weight that I do put on, it's going to go there. And so if I want to have like a crazy six pack all year round, it's going to be way tougher to do that. So the bonus to distributing weight evenly is you can kind of look good everywhere, even if you have a little higher body fat percentage than I do, because, again, I'm going to struggle with getting that six pack to come out. But hey, I can walk around in a shirt and t-shirt and shorts all year round and look crazy, right? So that's the bonus. So how does this kind of play out as we get older? And well, really the idea here is that, I have clients, and this is something I mention to my clients, is because you're going to keep the weight in that area that you don't want it to be in. I find, like, especially like older men in their, say, 60s, they want to lose that last little bit to get that six pack, or at least, they don't need it to be a crazy six pack. They just want to see maybe the upper two abs. They're okay if they don't quite get the lower. They have realistic expectations, I guess. But the reality is, for them to get that weight off in that area, it's going to make them look kind of gaunt because they're not holding any weight in their arms. Typically, older men start to lose a little of the weight in their faces. So the leaner they get, the more gaunt, and the skin gets just looser because they don't have any cushion in there. And it just makes them look older. They look frail. They look like old, frail men if they get too lean, even if they're working out. Because again, older you get, the harder it is to keep the muscle. So they're not going to be super buff. They will look good. They will have muscle. But, in a shirt and pants and stuff, they're going to look maybe a little too frail. And it's a lot of work to get to that point where they lose that last little bit off of their stomach to show that the abs, right? And do you really want to give up your wine, your beer, your food, and, have to like exercise 24/7, never have a day off just so you can look good with your shirt off at the beach or the pool for those few days out of the year or whatever, right? So that's a lot of work. And I'm like, you got to have realistic expectations, right? And, the same goes for women. As you get older, the weight that you used to put it in, your hips a little, your butt, legs, right? Upper, chest area, where you wanted it to go, that weight's not going to go there as much. It's going to start to go to the stomach, the love handles more and more, right? Women start to get the bellies too, just like men as they get older. Now, everybody's different again with the way they put on weight, but women, as you get older, men and women still need a little bit of body fat. It just softens the skin. It gets rid of some of the wrinkles, right? You need a little cushion in there. So I think you got to have realistic expectations as we get older. We're not gonna be like cover models. We're not gonna be on the cover of Muscle Magazine or Men's Health or anything, or Women's Health. It's just going to be tough unless they're they're doing an older age person type theme or whatever, right? It does happen. But so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is you do have to expect the weight to change. It's going to start distributing into different areas, and there are some benefits and there are some cons to that. So keep it all in mind. Have realistic expectations. Don't be too hard on yourselves. Most important thing is to live a life with some exercise in it, with good eating habits, with good sleep. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. We all get older. We're not going to be 20 all of our life, right? All right. Thanks for watching another GetFitOver40.com video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.